It's official. It's official. The IBF stripped Jai Opetaia. Um, I was disappointed with this. First and foremost, every champion, every sanctioning body lets fighters do what they call a mandatory defense. I'm sorry, a voluntary defense of the title. They do have to fight mandatories, and where they bend those mandatory next guy in line mandatory rule is when it's unification against apparently only the four sanctioning bodies. Now, when you read between the lines, it sounds like the IBF was waiting for Zuffa to recognize their title too, and Zuffa wouldn't. At the end of the day, the IBF has stripped Jay Opetaia of his belt, uh, and now he's the best cruiserweight in the world with the Zuffa belt, and that's it. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because we all know that the way boxing goes, if you follow the money, that's the way boxing goes. It follows the money, and if let's say Turkey Al Rashid says, "Hey, we want Jay Opetaia to fight whatever," let's say. Noel McKillian, he's got a title. He's got the WBC title. And the WBC says to McKillian, if you fight Jay Opetaia for the Zuffa title, we're going to strip you of your belt. And Turkey Al Sheed says, here, I'm going to add another zero on the end of your paycheck. Do you think Noel McKillian is going to say, yeah, well, I don't want to risk being stripped of the WBC belt. So yeah, I'm going to turn down life-changing money and an opportunity to fight Jay Opetaia to keep that green belt. I don't think so. I could be wrong. And I think that the IBF's move here was 110% a power play. And, I think that it's just shame that they did this, because now the boxing world, give a shout out to my man Randy, who's in the chat room right now. Randy Gordon. I had the pleasure of being a guest on him and Jerry Cooney's show the other day. So hopefully you guys caught that, and you could check it out at the fights on Sirius. I know it's up on their app. The IBS. I'm sorry, the IBF is making a stand. They're drawing a line in the sand here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because if they're successful, this is what we're going to see. I don't think they're going to be successful. I think that at the end of the day, it's called prize fighting for a reason, and fighters, rightfully so, go to where the money is, and they'll go to where they can make the most money. And the titles themselves, used to generate a fighter more money, right? That was the whole selling point. The whole selling point that the sanctioning bodies would tell fans and promoters and what have you, that by fighting for a belt, any belt, is worth more than not fighting for a belt. And for the longest time, that smokescreen, and that's my opinion, was shoved at us, and in some cases it was very believable, and over time, everybody believed. Now we're starting to see, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. We got these good fighters that aren't even looking to fight for that Ichiachi East Global Asian Pacific U.S. Canadian belt. And they don't want to fight for that. They're going to go and fight another guy that, oh my goodness, has a similar record. And how much are they making? That's what's going to happen. And if that happens, we're going to end up with fighters making the most money that they can. We're going to end up as fans watching the best fights. But the most important thing for old boxing purists like myself, the best thing is that you're going to see the best fighters rise to the top, so that the top fighters are the champions. There's no argument if a fighter has to fight everybody along the way and he's the king of the hill, he becomes the champion. There's no question. there's no, my belt's worth more than your belt. I'm a better fighter than you. There's no more of that. And I think that that's good for the sport. And it will be good for the fighters. Now, this is all contingent upon them making money, because the knock on what's coming out now is you're hearing a lot of stuff from the UFC fighters saying, "Whoa, we don't make any money. We're not making the money. We're not doing this. We're not doing that." So it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. Now, keep in mind,